Whoa. Who's buzzing around here? Whoa. Who's buzzing around here? Hey. Okay, let's see it. Expecting Dad, number 12. I'm trying to make sure everything's working. Something's not right here. Mark Boeve, how are you?
Hey, good. Thanks for having me.
Do you hear something weird?
No.
Do I hear it anymore? Testing out the Facebook Live thing again, and I just want to make sure I'm not hearing whatever. Oh, you know what? I probably could. That might help a little bit. Pull it up on your little phone there, buddy. I just want to make sure I'm not hearing whatever. Oh, that's coming from your phone. Okay.
Right.
Now turn it off. Come on.
It's off.
Come on.
Sorry.
Pay attention. Anyways, okay, expecting Dad number 12. Thank you for tuning in. I got my friend Mark here. He's been on some of the older podcasts that we did 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Last 2 weeks ago, my brother-in-law Jeff was on, and we reminisced about the old podcast days 4 years ago. Anyway, changed my little studio around here. Got Mark in. You can see my dog looks like she's dead under Mark's chair. Nice. So, Mark, how's it going?
Good, man. Living the dream.
Yeah. How so? Didn't you get a new job recently?
I did.
Is that something you can let everybody in the world know about, or not so much?
Oh, yeah, that's fine. I was in the automotive world for 10 years, and then one day I got a text about a job that was opening up. Got the whole job list and got the whole whatever it entails. And
You weren't necessarily seeking it out, or
it was not.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
I had my goals. I had my job that I wanted, and it came through, and I read it and thought about it and said, well, why not? Let's just talk to him. Let's see what we got. Spent a couple weeks talking it over with people I knew, and then I went through an interview process where that was insane. A month of interviewing.
Yeah, like how many interviews? 10?
3 interviews in front of a board, 3 tests.
Yeah, that's legit.
Yeah, it was a lot of stuff, and they beat me up and found everything about me in the world.
Yeah,
And I still got it. I have no idea why.
I don't know how. Yeah, I wouldn't hire you. I'd
Well,
hire
yeah.
you to clean my garage.
Big change in my life, not cleaning your garage.
Cool. Good
But
job.
yeah, life is good, man. Thanks for having
Sweet.
me on.
Yep, you have a son named Lawson.
Lawson James.
Lawson James. He is 5 something.
He's 5.5.
Ooh, a little bit older than mine.
Yeah, we need to talk about from 4 to 5 to 5.5 to 6 what's going to happen here
Yeah.
because it's changing quickly.
Did you see a big change from when Lawson between 4 and 5?
Yeah. In fact, I see a change at this age daily.
Really?
Daily.
You must be overthinking it then. What the heck can change in one day? What can change in one day?
Come on now. They say
Okay.
that at this age in their life, even starting at 3 all the way to 5, and don't quote me on this as of timing.
Who's
whatever.
they? I smell BS.
We're talking about
Joking.
we're talking about researchers and doctors and all that stuff, whatever. But what I've read is this part of their life is their brain is retaining and learning
Oh yeah.
more than any time that ever will the rest of their life. Even right now, and I think I'm 35 years old, I'm super smart and I'm learning and blah, blah, blah. He's actually learning faster and retaining faster than I am right now.
True that.
Yeah.
I think somewhat off topic, but somewhat similar. So we live here in Hudsonville. Right next to us in Jenison, behind a Fairhaven church, Jenison's building a school, like a Spanish immersion
What?
school building
Oh.
that younger kids can go to. And apparently there was an enlist period where you could somehow sign up to have your kid attend the school in whatever year it's going to open. And I think it's still a few years out or whatever.
Right.
But apparently the sign-ups, the line was so long, people were lining up to sign up to do this like a day in advance. People were camping out like Black Friday stuff and out front of Best Buy. People were camping out so they could get in line so they could get their kids signed up to attend the Spanish immersion school.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, why? Why on earth? I mean,
I agree.
I'm just saying how it boggles my mind. But there's obviously plenty of parents around here that want their kid in there. And I'm like, man, really? Do you want your kids to speak Spanish that much, that badly, that you would spend the night out in the sidewalk. But then I thought about it, and what you were saying is that little kids, they retain so much. If your kid was in a Spanish immersion school, and I don't know if you know what that is, it's where I think the school, they literally are speaking Spanish in every class all day long. Now, maybe not constant because the kids are still learning, but they do it so these kids, by the time they're in high school, they're like fluent in Spanish already. Now, I guess if they just want kids to have a second language, like without hardly trying because they went to a school that had that, and I don't know if this is like a 1, 2, 3, 4, how many years kids go through this school. I don't know if it's just they go to it for 1 year and then they move on to like first grade or something. I don't know. I don't know what the ages is.
That
I don't
make sense
know.
To me, but
I know it doesn't. I don't know all the details, but I'm just thinking, why do all these parents so bad want their kids to go this? And the only thing I can think of is that, I mean, literally, why not? They're still going to be learning the stuff they're supposed to be learning.
A high school, you have 4 years, you can learn it.
True, but what you said, they can retain and they can soak up so much knowledge the earlier. So I think parents want to do that. So by the time they're in high school, they don't even have to take Spanish because they know Spanish just like nothing.
You tell me the only
and I
benefit
guess that's
of
handy.
This, you tell me the only benefit of the school, from a parent's perspective, is learning a different language. That's it.
I guess I don't know, but maybe there's studies that say, hey, if kids like know 2 languages by the time in their high school, there's they have a tendency to like learn things more quickly, or I don't know.
If I
still don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. That's the only thing I'm just kind of, that's what I think of.
Yeah, just paraphrasing what you said, I agree. If it's only learning a different language, I mean, why is it such a benefit to go to the school? But you can learn it later. But thinking from my perspective, I would love to know Spanish. So that's a great opportunity for a kid. But if that's the only benefit, why
¿Cómo se llama?
Yeah, why
Ryan.
is it so popular only just for a language at 5? I mean, my son would come home and I would expect him to say 3 words.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't get it.
I feel like someone's got to explain that to you more, and obviously you cannot do that. So
no, I
guess we're done here. See you later.
But I do see the benefit as of I wish I could speak Spanish.
That was a tangent. So, anyways, back to the task at hand, my friend. What I had a list of some stuff we were going to chat about.
Did.
I don't know. You run the show here.
Well, one of the biggest things that you sent me that you wanted to talk about was the blog that you put on your website.
Yes.
What's your website again?
expectingdad.show.
Mm-hmm. It's
good stuff.
As you worded it, was screen time.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something I've been thinking about for quite a while. And those of you who don't know, my son is an only child. So there's a lot of times where he says to me, and we'll talk about this later too, I'm bored. I don't know what to do yet. And I have things to do around the house. My wife's got something to do. We get home from work. I mean, you can only you can try to give so much attention to your child. And then there's some point where it's like, dude, I have to do the dishes for frickin' 2 seconds. Like, give me a minute here. So the iPad, the tablet, the phone is like, oh, it's so nice. Here, take this. Go. Get out of my life for 1 hour, please. Thank you.
Hey, just pause real quick. You guys have Apple products at home?
We're an Apple family.
So you have iPads, iPhones, and stuff. You don't have Samsungs. I was just
well,
curious.
my wife and I have Kindle, but
yeah, I was just curious. Keep going.
Yeah, we are Apple for sure. And all of a sudden, I get a couple tasks done at home, and I walk around and I'm looking, and I see him on the couch, tap 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 tap, playing a game, blah blah blah. Oh, I could hear him from the other room. The whole time I'm thinking, this is going to start from the beginning here for you. I didn't have that when I was a kid.
No. So, if anybody's listening did not read the blog, it's short. It's like 2 short paragraphs, whatever. I just popped in my head one morning, so I wrote about it. The screen time, whether it be, back in the day, we had TV, right?
Right. Yep.
Typically, I remember like especially Saturday mornings, like a lot of people our age probably, man, you get up at like 7:38. You plop your butt in front of the TV, and you're literally there. Like, I remember sitting in front of the TV on a Saturday till like 11:30 noon.
Yes,
like,
I was gonna say
lunchtime. I'm like, dang, I want to watch more TV. Mom's yelled at me, yeah, come eat your lunch. No, she really didn't yell at me, and I don't even know. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe it was just a couple hours. Yeah. But these days it's so different. Like, just think, like, let's just say 8 to 9 to 10 to 11. Let's say 3 hours on a Saturday morning, I would watch cartoons or whatever, Saturday morning stuff with my sister. So these days, my kids, they don't care about TV as much. I mean, yeah, we have Apple TV and we have Netflix and, YouTube Kids or whatever,
Right.
and we can watch stuff. And we used to, when they were littler, we would watch like some of those 15-minute long shows or whatever. But now it's just iPad. They just want to watch iPad. iPad? Is it iPad time, Dad?
Yeah, they
iPad?
never say
Can we-
TV, do they?
Never see TV. I don't even. They hardly sometimes don't even know what that screen is on the wall upstairs or down here.
Right.
I mean, they literally forget that it's called a TV. But they want to watch the iPad, and they watch. They either play a couple games. There's like a Daniel Tiger game they play. There's some other funny games. Most of them are educational related, but the big thing is the YouTube Kids, where it's 2 to 8 minute long videos about whatever, some creepy 35-year-old lady opening toys or candy and talking like a kid. It's just the weirdest thing ever. I don't know why these kids love that. But so there's this big difference between a kid using a device to do this versus us watching TV. We're sitting on the couch watching TV for 3 hours. The kids are on the iPad. They could be playing an educational game. Great.
Right.
Well, if not, they're watching also, like, you can relate it to a TV, a little show on this device. But they had to learn how to use the device. Like, I remember, maybe 9 months old or maybe a year old.
About a year.
Harper was able to, unlock the device, by, I can't remember if I had passcodes on it or not.
I remember getting excited about that. Like,
and
did
she
you
was
see
able
that?
to pick the app she wanted to use, and she was able to start doing it. And she was like a year old, and I'm like, dang.
Oh, yeah.
At least she was learning. I didn't know how to use the remote when I was that young watching TV. I mean, I don't know if I watched TV when I was 1. So that's quite a bit different too.
Right.
But she's 1. She's already learning how to use this device. And over the months, she's learning how to manipulate it, change apps, delete apps. And then she eventually figures out how you can install apps. She doesn't know what she's installing yet because she can't, type. But she's doing that. So she's putting a little work into that, or the kids are putting a little work into that. I'm not defending like, oh yeah, your kids should just watch iPads all day. The big difference, and I pointed this out on my blog, is that I was watching like 3 hours of TV Saturday mornings. I only let my kids watch like 15 minutes of iPad in the morning and then maybe 15 to 30 minutes at night. They don't.
Oh, wow.
They really don't watch it. Maybe if, like you said, if stuff's going on, we need to get some dishes done, or we got to leave in half an hour and we got to get a bunch of stuff done, we might let them watch it during the day.
Right.
But there's that time structure to it. We're like, 15 minutes is up, dude. You're all done. Let's turn it off. And they know, like, okay, guys. Or I'll give them like a 5-minute warning. 5 iPads are done in 5 minutes. They're like, okay. And then 15 minutes are up. Say, okay, guys, let's go. We need to brush teeth, or we need to get dressed, or whatever. And they turn it off and they put it away. Sometimes they'll whine, but it's just taking measures to know how much time they're utilizing. I don't know. Maybe you let Lawson watch it for like 6 hours at a time. I don't know. I'm just going to say you're a bad parent if you do that.
Come on now.
You're probably a bad parent regardless, because I know you. Joking.
I mean, there's so many different ways we can go with this conversation. If it's good, if it's bad. If some people think that it's just the devil, some people think it's amazing. Some people in the middle say it depends on how you use it. And one thing recently that I read was, what is the negative part about it is that it takes away from the people interaction.
Yeah.
With your parents, with the teacher, with your friends. It makes you desocialized in a way.
Yeah, that's what my sister-in-law pointed out. And she said she has kids. She's a 4th grade teacher. She said she has kids that are like so into, devices that they like don't want to socialize at school. They just like literally cannot wait till they can get an iPhone or iPad in front of them, or whatever device.
And that's a separate conversation.
Yeah, those parents probably aren't making sure the kids only watching it. Certainly,
they're not.
They're just letting them do whatever all night long or all day long.
No, I agree with that.
But then the other part I pointed out in the blog was, these kids are learning these devices at such an early age. I didn't learn how to type on a keyboard and like really know how to. I mean, I could type in maybe 6th grade, because we got a computer at my house at like 5th grade. I could start typing whatever, but we took typing class like 7th grade. In 8th grade, and that's when you really learned how to type and type fast and type well. My kids are going to know how to type in like,
a year.
Yeah, Harper is 4, 5. Yeah, in about 2 years, I bet you she'll be able to start typing stuff, and she'll be 6. That's crazy.
And that's a
so just
great
think
positive.
of what they're going to be doing when they're in junior high. When we were in junior high, learning how to type, our kids are going to be like, I feel like I'm going to make a new website. Hey, Dad, can I have $20 to get some hosting and throw my website up that I created? What? Or I have this idea. I learned how to code at school because we have coding class now, software development class, and I built a game that I want to get on the iTunes store.
I got a
Dude, they're gonna be doing that in high school, man. They're gonna be
that's-
making us rich.
I agree with you, but I also have a question for you.
Monkey, stop.
If you
Dog
had to
is
give a
going nuts.
percentage right now,
Uh-huh.
the positive percentage of your iPad and your kids being on technology early versus the negative. There's articles out there about how negative it is. How would you put your percentages? What's more positive or what's more negative? What's your percentage?
I don't think that's what you should be looking at. It's not a device or
In
screen
general.
time. It's how you govern them doing it. It's how you parent your child doing it.
So you're saying overall it's the most positive thing. You think it's a great
It
positive
definitely
thing.
can be negative,
Right.
but it can be absolutely you can negate all the negativity if you govern your child and you limit them as they're growing and like make them realize you can't just watch a dang iPad for 3 hours straight. That's
Right.
a waste of your life. But,
So
15
far,
minutes
you
here,
said-
30 minutes there, whatever your rules are around it, have some sort of rules to it, and that's fine. Just like anything else. Moderation, man.
Right?
Right.
I agree with that. And so far,
That's
you've
my
been
opinion.
positive
That's
all the way
my-
through with moderation.
That's my opinion.
So could you
I'm sticking to it.
do you have any negative opinions, even with moderation?
Well, yeah, I will say it's super easy. Like if you, let's say my wife's with the kids all day. I come home from work. She needs to go do whatever for a couple hours. I'm with the kids and I have to get something done or I'm frustrated or I'm dead tired. And the kids are like, iPad. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, yeah, dude, just watch the dang iPad. I don't care for whatever.
I do the same
dude,
thing.
I want to
Like,
relax.
Give me a second.
I mean, I typically don't do that. I mean, it's the to allow that to happen. And I'm not saying I have never done that, but it's easy to use that as a scapegoat. The babysitter, the device babysitter.
Right. Get
And
out
it used to
my
be,
life.
the TVs used to be the babysitter.
Right.
Oh, they just let the TV babysit their kids while they go out to dinner or whatever the heck. I don't know.
Right.
So, yeah, there's a slippery slope. But if you're being conscious and you're governing it and putting rules, man.
I think you're right on the money. It rules
crazy.
and governing as of like time and what they do. And so like I was saying before, we kind of got off track with what I was saying for a second there was what they do as of the studies are showing, and I'm not going to explain what the studies are, who the studies are, but is doing something with human interaction at the same time. So meaning you're doing it with your child to show an educational game.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And that still brings in that interaction with a human and whatever. So, and also the thing I've seen with Lawson too is that he tends to veer towards educational stuff. Like he loves
That's
the number games. He loves the words games. So I have zero negativity to say about it.
Yeah.
Besides the parents that don't govern it.
Yeah, I mean,
That's the downfall.
for sure.
Right.
But it's just like anything else. I mean, if you let your kids just like eat snacks or whatever whenever they want all the time,
Right.
and they don't eat their meals and they're just eating junk food,
Yeah.
that's your fault,
Yep. No, I agree with you. I mean, there's so many negative vibes out about right now and saying that the generation is changing and they can't socialize
It's
anymore.
nuts. I wonder what.
It's not the iPad, it's the parents.
Yeah. And an iPad's just a tool, just like anything else. But I was thinking, like, so that's our kids. I wonder what our kids' kids will be doing
Oh
when they're in that age. Oh my,
goodness.
it's mind-boggling. Not really, but kind of.
Think of a movie right now that you would think would be like that.
A movie.
Like a futuristic movie that somebody came up with an interactive, like Minority Report. Remember when that came out and you were
yeah.
like, "That's mind blowing that he can do that with
Yeah,
his
for
fingers
sure.
and move stuff around."
Yeah, that was a cool movie. I like
Yeah.
that one. Good old Tommy Cruise.
Who's dead now?
What?
In his career?
What? When's the last movie
Yeah,
he's had?
done. I couldn't even tell you. That's why he's dead.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's done.
Him and Katie went Splitsville and he just went downhill.
It was due to Scientology.
Probably, yeah. So on a different note,
Okay.
it's springtime going into summertime, and I was curious on what do you guys do with Lawson like in the summertime? Do you guys do activity? I mean, man, like stuff like sports. That's more of a. I mean, Lawson does soccer, right?
Yeah, he loves it.
That's a springtime thing.
I got a good story about that when you're
Yeah.
ready.
Well, go for it. I'm just kind of thinking of now that it's warmer out.
Right.
Kids are getting outside, whatever. Right now we just play in the backyard.
Well, it just started this week. The sport started picking up just this week.
Yeah.
And I need people's advice on this one, but my son has a competitive nature in general. Okay, and what's happening is that he is on this team AYSO, and he is part of the elite 3 or 4 of it, and it just turns out the elite 3 or 4 on his team are probably should have been spread out between a bunch of other teams. And so they are dominating. And this is 5-year-olds. I'm talking dominating as of like 15 to 1.
What's their team name?
They don't have a team name. Team 2.
Did they even?
Team 2.
I'm surprised they keep score.
No, I don't, but the parents do. Okay. But it is so bad to the point where the parents are telling, and including myself, hey, just pass the ball. Just pass the ball to somebody else. So they'll be going down towards the goal, and they'll just stop and they're like, oh, my dad said I can't score, and turn around and kick it the other way.
My dad said I can't score.
Right. No, it's
hey kid on the other team, you have the ball.
You might see that's embellished. It's not. So here's what I'm going up against right now. He gets all excited and he scores 1 point, and he's running down the sideline from the other side of parents all the way down to me with his finger up in the air. Got 1 goal, and I'm like, yeah, man, you got your goal, sweet, great job, dude. By the time it's like number 6 or 7 and he's holding his hands up, number 7, Dad, like past the parents of the kids that like look at the ball and go, oh, I have to kick that. Oh, here's the grass. Ooh, fun.
They're all the same age?
Well, within a year or 2 or whatever. And then I'm looking down at these parents and they're just like, that kid's a dick. And it's my kid going, number 8, Dad, like this is awesome. And he's pushing kids over and you know what? And I'm like,
did you record any of it? Like videotape?
I will next week. And I'm the parent in the side, like in my chair, going, dude, shh, just relax. Come sit down for a second. Like, hey, you can't do that, man. Just go score. And you know what? Pass it and try to be a team player. And he's like, dude, Dad, shut it. Boom, score. Dad, number 8.
That's like Harper will always, with her sister Shay, it's always everything's a contest or like, I'm going to win.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to put our pajamas on. I'm going to beat you, Shay. I'm going to win. And Shay's like, whatever. I don't care. I don't even want to get my pajamas on. And Harper will quick race and do it. Ha, I win. I won. I'm the winner. It's like, Harper, where the heck do you get that? I mean, she gets it from me for sure, but we don't teach her that. It's just funny.
When you're public, that's embarrassing.
Oh,
Even though you want your
she'll
kid
be
to be
like that, I'm sure.
When I look at my kid, I'm like, yeah, that's the winner. He's the best. But in the same, when he verbally says it, like, Dad, we beat them. They are not good. We're the best. And I'm like, dude, shut it. Like, shh.
That's so funny. So soccer, and this is not school related, right? It's like
no.
AYSO. Is that what it is?
Right.
So anybody can really do it.
Yeah, you just got to sign up and pay and blah blah blah.
Is there like a age minimum? Do you have to be like 4 or something like that?
That's I think the lowest.
4. Yours 5. So yeah, 5.
So friends of ours just put their kids in there. Yeah, it's got to be that's the lowest. But
so we'll see. Maybe next year we'll do something like that.
It is fun.
Well, we've been doing swimming. Harper just went through her second swim class. Shay, she's 2. She just started her first swim class.
That sounds boring.
It's easy.
That sounds boring. Swimming's boring.
Yeah, it's not. I would not say it's terribly. It's more learning how to swim. It's not like crazy. But it's something, man.
But I tell you what, when I went into this, I was like, oh yeah, the parents line up in their chairs and we'll socialize, and we all live in the same area. It's fun. And I'm like, I always hated those parents that are just so into the game. I'm like, that's in high school when the parents kind of get a little crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
No, my kid's 5, and I'm like, whoa, he scored. Like, I'm acting like the kid's 16.
Good. Cool.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so what else do you see him as he gets older being good at anything in particular?
That happened this week. It's not baseball, but you get those the beach ones or the water circles that have the Velcro on it. And it's like a glove, and then you throw it back and forth in the water, and it Velcros, and it's kind of like playing baseball or catch.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, we'd play that, and I could barely play it with him. I was so super annoyed. Ball goes this way, can barely throw it. I didn't even want to hang out with him. I was so annoyed. That last week, he took that thing, when we first started, like, Dad, let's play catch. All right, man, let's go. Whoom! He suckered it, like, whoom, right at my chest. And it actually broke the back side of the plastic. He threw it so hard. And I was like, proud dad moment. Like, oh my gosh, my son, he just threw a ball straight at me. It was amazing. Like, it was a proud dad moment. So I don't know. I don't know what he's going to like. Right now he likes soccer. It's too early to tell him a lot.
Yeah. I don't know.
He might be a computer nerd like you. I don't know what's going to happen.
Who knows? Yeah, you're right.
He might like comic books like you. I don't know what's going to happen. I hope not, though.
Yeah. I'll give some tips. Lawson, you can call me up anytime, buddy.
No, you won't.
Are you ever going to give Lawson a phone? How old you got to be to give a kid a phone?
So we've got friends in the neighborhood, and their daughter just turned 12.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah, we had to
I feel like I've heard 12 years old and getting... I think that's crazy early, but I've heard that as well.
We had to get her a phone. I mean, you didn't have to get her a phone. Shut your mouth.
We had to get her a phone. She turned 12.
Well,
she's going to be driving in 4 years.
It was a social thing.
Sorry, people. I'm not mocking you at all.
I am. Don't do it.
I'm just being crazy.
I mean, it was a acceptance thing. Everybody else had one.
Oh,
And
well,
I
guess.
remember that.
I don't have kids that age, so I guess I don't know. I've just heard. You're right.
We don't want our daughter to be the only one without a phone. And I'm like, right now, looking at it, I'm the outside. I'm like, no, you tell your daughter to shut it. And she'll get it when she gets her driver's license, just like we did. Like, right. I got my first phone. My parents were like, hey, cell phones are available. You're driving. I think it's smart, Now it's 12 years old. And you wouldn't believe the craziness that goes on between 12 and 14 years old with cell phones.
I couldn't really imagine giving a 12-year-old something that's worth at least $100.
Replaceable iPhone 7, $600.
Or even they got those cheaper ones, those SE ones that are probably like, and you could get like a Boost Mobile iPhone with blah 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 for like maybe $100, $150 or something like that. But still, at least $100. Getting a used one or something, $100.
I'd like to talk to a parent that's like, hey, I just went through this, and are you just forced into it because you don't want your kid to be that kid that doesn't have a phone? I don't get it. But let's just going back to the iPads.
Yeah, you're right. It's the way earlier. So yeah, 12 years old. That's 4 years. No, I didn't get. I got my first phone when I was a senior in high school, so I was probably like 17 or 18, maybe.
Yeah,
17, 18.
Yeah, it was huge too. It was big as like a pop bottle, just like that. Just huge.
Yeah, for the most part. I remember that for sure.
No, I'm with you. It's just a crazy world where dad, and think about our dads, what they went through when we were getting technology. Their minds were blown what we were doing. A video game. This kid's in here playing a video game. Are you kidding me? When I was a kid, I was outside with a stick and a rock and a can. That's the way I'm thinking right now. Like, this kid's spoiled.
For sure.
So.
Yeah, buddy. You guys do anything else now that it's summertime? You got any trips planned?
No, not this year.
Didn't you just buy something cool?
Oh, yeah.
What'd you buy?
Oh, well, I'll have to justify this. It was for my son for the summer. Well, we have a cottage up north.
Get a little bit closer to the microphone. I know we can hear each other. I just want to make sure it's getting recorded well.
We have a cottage up north, and it's not available this summer because it's torn down. And
that's right. You're redoing it all.
We're rebuilding the whole thing.
Okay.
And so I'm like, this is not a lot of stuff to do in the summer. I want a little bit something more, and I'm thinking of me in my mind. I'm justifying it to my wife as for Lawson. I don't want him to be bored, So, anyways, long story short, I bought a golf cart, and it is awesome.
How much did you spend?
I'm not going to say that because I'm going to resell it and make a lot of money.
Okay.
Well, long story short.
How new is it? How old or new is it?
It's late 90s.
Yeah.
But if you look at it.
Battery or gas or what?
Battery.
So brand new,
brand new batteries lifted
quiet
up.
And everything?
Oh yeah, it's stealth mode. You turn the lights off, nobody knows you're coming.
Yep.
But it's lifted up, big tires and wheels, everything, stereo system. It's got LED blue lights underneath. It's like a pimp mobile.
Nice.
So I bought it
for the cottage or.
No, it's for home.
Oh, I thought it was like going to be going to the cottage or something.
It will eventually, but so I get it, and I'm thinking, and my son likes monster trucks. That's a huge deal. I feel like kids 4 to 5 to 6, boys in particular, like love monster trucks. Mm-hmm. Trucks. So I get it, and I'm like, dude, I got you a mini monster truck. It's awesome. And we were at dinner, and I show him a picture, and he's like, what? And I just spent like $2,200 on this thing.
$2,200.
Yeah.
Are you freaking kidding me, man?
$2,200.
And it's like over 20 years old?
Obviously, you're not educated on golf carts.
Apparently
and
not.
Value.
Hey. My brother-in-law, Andy, bought a golf cart.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't even think he bought it. I think he traded some junk for it.
Okay.
Now, it's pretty junky, and he's fixing it up.
It's
but
very junky, I guarantee it.
It works. It moves. it was a pain. He had to do work to actually get
Yeah.
it so it would move. But
Okay, let me just educate you real quick.
$2,200.
Yes. Okay. You know the average battery cost for one of those? $125 a battery.
Okay, how long does the battery last?
There's 6 batteries in those things.
Oh my god!
So right there,
How fast does it go? 90?
15 to 20 miles per hour.
Don't you have a little scooter too?
No, I sold the
Ruckus. Honda Ruckus.
But okay, think about this.
Well, there you go.
He buys
you
that, he
sold
gets
the-
it free. He's got to buy batteries. He's got to buy tires. He's got to do this and that. That's $2,000 in repairs you can do before you know it. And
What?
this thing is mint.
Nice.
And I'm going to sell it for $3,000 to $3,500.
Yeah. Well, good.
And then
cool.
we'll buy-
If you can, more power to you.
I'm going to buy better microphones for this place.
I'm all about flipping stuff. I do that.
Well, that's true.
I always have some stuff for sale. Usually on eBay, Craigslist, Facebook. Selling stuff on that Facebook Facebook now
that's
is so
new.
easy. It's way better than Craigslist because you can see if the person's a like mega creep or if they're legit or whatever. I've sold quite a few things lately. It's good
But
stuff.
you like eBay the most for resale value.
There's certain types of things that sell better on a place like Facebook or Craigslist versus eBay. Some things sell better on eBay. Some things sell better on Facebook.
It just comes with the experience of selling.
Yeah, like comic books and comic book toys and figures and stuff like that. They're more specific and they go really well on eBay. And I dabble in and when I buy a lot of these toys, whatever, it's 99% of the time it's to resell. And yeah, I mean, people are looking for these specific things. But if I post it on Facebook, not one person would say anything to me because the audience just isn't big enough for that.
Right.
But like, I somehow ended up with a toddler bed that we didn't need. I won an auction, a local auction here. I bought it for like, I don't know, $20 or something like that, and I thought we needed it for Shay. And then when I got it home, realized that her crib kind of changed, so it turned into a toddler bed, and I was like, oh, I wish I would have known that. I would have bought this stupid bed. I'm like, I'll throw it on Facebook, and I put it up for $45, and I sold it the next day for $45.
What'd you buy it for?
$20. So I doubled my money. And there's a couple other things like that. Yeah. So yeah, like something like that probably wouldn't have sold on eBay. I would have had to take it all apart and garbage.
Side note, before we move on, I just signed up for eBay for the first time in my whole entire life.
Really?
Does that blow your mind?
Yeah. I signed up in 2000, 17 years ago.
I just got it. Because of the golf cart, I want accessories.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. I bet you can find cool stuff on eBay.
Right.
What kind of accessories are you going to get?
Whatever I don't have, and I don't know what that is yet.
Stickers?
No, more lights.
Lights?
Oh, I
fog
forgot.
lights?
One thing about this golf cart, there's a button I didn't know what it did, and I pushed it, and it went. And I
a
opened
horn?
up, and there's like 3 horns that can do this little song.
Does it have a phone charger?
Not yet,
Well,
but I have
why not?
I found a USB golf cart connection I could put into the dash.
Nice.
Yeah. Super nerdy.
Does it like actually have speakers and like you said a stereo?
Aux jack, everything.
Oh, wow. Like is it a radio?
Oh, yeah.
FM radio too?
Yeah.
FM, AM, whatever.
Now, for those of you who don't know, golf carts are totally legal on the road. Like driving through your neighborhood, just like this.
You can't go like driving on the highway or nothing, can you?
You can't even go on the road. You and I.
Oh,
if
they are legal for the road. They're not legal.
They're not. Going
Oh,
around,
I thought you said they were. I
I'm
was
sorry,
like, what?
illegal. Going around this neighborhood, if we were just cruising, listening to music, hanging out, cop saw us, roop, roop, ticket.
Light them up, boys. They're breaking the law.
So I have questions for you,
Yeah.
and pertaining to your daughters. This is a totally world I don't live in at all. As being the male and being the father and having 2 daughters, is there anything that, compared to like my son, we relate pretty good and we're like tough with each other and we're talk back to each other and we go outside and like, yeah, Dad, high five. We're boys. And my wife, I can see my wife in the background going, oh, those are boys, blah, 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 blah. Do you have those moments where like the girls are with your wife or where they're trying, you can't relate to them because they're just girls? You know, as of a dad perspective?
No, I don't think anything like that's happened yet. At least I can't think of
It might be coming.
anything. Yeah, no, not really. I mean, we went to Build-A-Bear the other night. Stuffed animals. A lot of it seemed kind of girly, but I know it's not. Just any little kid would like a stuffed animal at Build-A-Bear, right?
Right, they're just at
But
that
it was
age.
they wanted girly Build-A-Bear stuff and his dresses and all this stuff. And, you know, my wife loved it. We took pictures and I was just kind of like, yeah, all right. But, I mean, that's
Right.
really the only thing I can think of. I mean, Shay's favorite thing to do is rock and roll, Dad? Rock and roll?
Oh, well.
She does this and she always says, rock and roll?
I do see pictures of you guys at guitars and your shirts.
It's funny, yeah. They definitely have a good chunk of me in there. But, yeah, Harper's definitely very girly. We'll see if Shay turns out to be super girly or
I guess it's too early
tomboy.
to tell.
Yeah, for sure it is.
Right.
Definitely.
Maybe a question we'll ask when they're 16 and you're like, they won't even talk to me anymore.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Oops.
Good stuff. I feel like there was another thing that I was going to ask you.
There was.
I don't know. I had the list somewhere.
You did. You had quite the list. Love and Logic.
Oh, yes.
Which a friend of mine gave that book to me, and I never got to it. And I heard it's quite good.
Yeah, apparently this whole Love and Logic idea has been around for a long time. I think my parents took the Love and Logic classes.
Old?
Yeah. Like this father and son that have been doing these classes and whatever. It's kind of like a Dave Ramsey for parenting.
Okay.
Instead of finances, it's like parenting. So, you know, I think I'm pretty sure they're Christian guys, I believe. They have this value system, whatever,
Right.
and they teach about these ways you can, I don't want to say raise your kids, but react to situations and kind of how to parent them. And it's all like, you know, the kid is, let's say you're the kid. Let's say you're Lawson, and Lawson's mad because he can't have ice cream or whatever.
Okay.
And you kind of like, you reflect the situation back to him and be like, Lawson, you can't have ice cream. That's your problem. What are you going to do about it? Instead of me worrying about it and being like, trying to calm you down or whatever, you flip it back on the kid and make them responsible for whatever problem they're having. You know, and it's hard to explain. It's this big old thing. I think it was like a 6-week class, 2 hours, 6 times 12 hours worth of class we did.
The psychology of a child, pretty much.
Yeah, and it just gives you lots of tips and, situations. And if your kid does this, you can, spin it back on them and make them responsible for,
We're talking in a way that makes them think for themselves.
Yeah, for sure. And there's like I said, there's lots of different things they teach you, but it was well worth it. I think it was a free class, but you didn't have to pay anything. But yeah, it was pretty legit.
I know the book's pretty popular, but I've just haven't.
I couldn't believe how long these guys have been doing that. And I kind of related to Dave Ramsey because it's like they created this system. They have these videos and they market it and package it. And then they have other people teach the classes and show clips of their videos and their little handout book. And I don't know how they make money, but they make money somehow.
They do.
So, but yeah, like these classes are taught like all over, just like, somebody can help facilitate a Dave Ramsey class. You're not going to actually see Dave Ramsey. I'm sure you could, but there's classes all over the country all the time, Dave Ramsey classes,
Set up the same.
Exactly. So it's the same, type of situation, except for you got to pay for that Dave Ramsey stuff. It's like $50 or something for like the book and all that garbage.
I got to pay $50 to figure out how to save money.
I guess. Hey, I took the class, and you take it. You pay for it once, and then you can retake it whenever for free. Before we got married, we took it, and it was legit. We learned quite a bit. But I don't know.
You want me to? You pay me $50, and I'll tell you how to. Don't spend money.
That's not. He doesn't say don't spend money. He says a lot of stuff.
Don't get into.
Don't spend money if you don't have it.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna pay $50.
Some of the things like pay cash for everything. I think that's, in my opinion, a little over the top. But if it works for you, hey, whatever. That's
There's
cool.
totally different ways. I totally. Dave Ramsey's done a fantastic job, and I think he's changed lives. But it's just logic to me.
It is. It's common.
Don't live outside
sense.
your means.
For sure.
I mean, what do I have to pay for that?
Do you know how many people do not realize that, understand that, or they don't have the common sense to realize that? When I was in college, I was racking up credit card bills like mad, man.
Yeah,
it was bad. I spent, before we got married, that was our goal, is so I could have all this credit card debt paid off and school loans paid off. I think Trisha got her school. She had everything paid off before we got married, and I think I just had maybe $10,000 left on a school loan after we got married, and then it was paid off within the first couple years. So yeah, that was good. So literally, all we have is, we didn't have credit cards or nothing. We just had our mortgage.
David Ramsey made his money off of pure logic to me.
Someone did. Yeah. I mean, I guess
job,
someone had
David
to do
Ramsey.
it. There's that many morons out there.
Good
that
job.
They needed it. I mean, I guess I did.
Why didn't I think about that?
Dude, you
Give me $10 million. I'm going to tell you, don't go in debt. Boom. I'm rich.
For sure. So speaking of which, so this brought up another question that completely related. The topic of giving allowance to your kids.
Ooh.
And someone said it, and Trisha's like, "Oh, have you thought about giving allowance to the girls?" I'm like, "Why in the heck would we do
Allowance?
that? They're 2 and 4. What the heck do they need money for?"
Elaborate on allowance.
I don't know. That's what I said. Just
Meaning they
what
have
is
to-
it, give them friggin' money every week?
No, you don't give a kid
And then
money.
she said no, like have her do some chores or this, that, or whatever.
Right.
And so she was asking me, like, can you think of any things that she could do and we could give her money? I'm like, what are we gonna give her, $10? No, I'll give her pennies here and nickels here or whatever. She goes crazy if I give them some pennies. They love it because they don't understand money. But I see what my wife's saying. The earlier you get them understanding about money. I think it was that Harper's always like showing us stuff that she sees. Oh, look at this doll, look at this toy, look at this little bakery set, blah, whatever. Can you put it on my list? Because she got into her head, it was close to last Christmas. She was like asking for stuff like, we'll put it on your Christmas list and we'll see if you get it for Christmas. So she knows that there's this list out there and she thinks we're adding all these things to it. Oh, we're not adding anything to it, really. She asked for so much crap that I'm like, dude, in 3 months you're going to forget you asked for this. Well, whatever. But I mean, at some point, some things she asked for and she's interested in, we will take note of it. But she's asking for so much stuff. It's like, might as well teach her the value of money and how to earn it. And then she can buy all this crap herself.
Let's
So
talk,
I
let's
guess
talk
it makes
about that.
sense. I still think they're young, but hey, whatever. I mean,
Let's talk about the purpose of it.
using the iPad at 1 year old is young too, but life happens, dude.
There's a purpose for an allowance. And what I'm getting from your perspective or your wife's perspective is they got to learn about money. Sounds good. Great. Give her a penny. Yep. Oh, I know what it is. You can only buy this for a penny. If you don't have more than a penny or 2 pennies, this costs 3, you can't do it. It's just understanding of money. Understand that. My child will never get an allowance. I promise you that right now.
Why?
I want him to earn money. And then when he gets his money, how does he distribute his money? So this is what we've done recently. Jobs. Go pick up your stuff. Go do this, go that. And granted, back in the day, it was pick up your stuff or I'm going to beat you. But now it's, we do jobs. Hey, if you go to this, you get $1. All right, Dad, sounds good. Blah, 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 blah. Goes and does it. And you do this, you get $2. Blah, blah, you do this. And then I set up 3 different accounts so he understands money going into something for a purpose. Mm. 1 is church. 2 is savings. Mm. And 3 is toys. So he worked hard to make money because he wants to be able to get past the 2 important things to get to his toys.
Yeah.
And so he understands you have to work for your money.
So
when you have your money, you have to distribute it
so
properly.
he's 5. What kind of work is he doing to get money?
Whatever the frick I can get that kid to do.
Like what? Name one thing.
Pick your crap up. Or outside, hey, there is tree branches everywhere. Pick all that up. Do this. It's mostly picking stuff up.
Okay, so if he picks up a bunch of tree branches or twigs off the ground, how much did you give him for doing that?
Whatever I can find. 50 cents, $1. Mm-hmm. Whatever I have.
I'm just curious,
right,
man.
Right. Like, I don't have a set point on it, but like whatever. I mean, if I have to go in my wife's purse, I go, oh, it's 50 cents. Right.
So let's say you give him 50 cents for picking up twigs for 15 minutes. So then what do you say? He's got to put, how much does he put in each thing? How do you split it up?
It bases off how much he has, but, 2 things. How much I give him. So if he can split it up, he'll split it up. Mm-hmm. In the 3 different pots.
So maybe you more purposely would give him 75 cents so we can put a quarter in each one.
Right. The other thing is, do you have money in your church fund? Yeah, I got a bunch there. Do you have money in your savings? Yeah, Dad, I got like $5 here. Okay. Now you can put it into your toy fund. And
you're saying he's got a bunch of money in the other 2, so now you can put all of it in your toy fund.
What's the priorities? Point. If there's nothing in the church and there's nothing in the savings, you have to give to that first before you go to your toys.
So then how often does he put the church money somewhere else, like to the church?
Well, I found once where for some reason there was all of a sudden less out of the church and a little bit more in the toys, and I wondered how that got transferred in the middle of the night. Whatever. That was one time I found that, but in general, he understands. And I always say, hey, what's first? This. What's second? This. And what's third? Yep, toys. So we're getting there. And one time he had $5 in his toys, and we went to Target, and he said, oh, you can spend that money now. Blah, blah, blah. So I want him to earn it and understand it.
Cool.
Versus allowance, like, hey, here's your $20 for the week. Go buy some.
Yeah, and maybe that's what, Trisha meant when she was talking about that. Like,
she probably did.
Having, like, paying for jobs or whatever. But yeah, I remember, man, I remember getting an allowance for, like, I must have been in elementary school, and it would be like, you have to do, like, clean your bedroom, vacuum, do this. There's like 5 things or 6 things, and you had to do them on a weekly basis, and you had to do all of them throughout the week. It didn't have to be done every day, but all 5 things each had to be done, let's say at least once for the week, and then you got whatever, $5 a week. I can't remember what it was. And, that was the money. And we would see things at the store that we wanted, but we didn't have money for it. And Mom's like, well, I can buy it for you, and I'll put it. And it was like she kept it in a box. So like when I had money, I would save my money up for the thing that she already bought, and then I could have it. So it basically would save me from having to go to the store. Yeah, so that was kind of a good idea, I guess. I don't know. Almost seems like more work for my mom, but.
Even looking in the future, do you reward your children for good grades? That's something we probably have to talk about in the future, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I can only think about being in high school and that happening. I don't know why. Am I going to reward my 5-year-old for graduating kindergarten, first grade or something? I don't know.
That's an expectation to do it.
They should just be happy they're alive, man.
You should be happy you can have a roof and food, and if you don't like it, then get on the street. I'm just thinking
I don't know. My
old
kids
school here.
My kids might like that. Well, my friend, I think it's time to wrap it up. Do you have any last words of wisdom that you want to share with anybody?
Think about how
for all 2 people that'll listen to this.
Is that it?
No, probably.
I'm probably leaving. Think about how our parents did it. A stick, a rock, and a can. Get outside.
Taking tips from Teddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old school Teddy.
So I thought Mark's dad's name's Ted. Hi, Ted.
Teddy.
I hope you listen to this.
Teddy John.
Well, Mark, thank you very much. Expecting ad number 12.
Had fun.
It's been real. We'll be back probably another 2 weeks. The next one in 2 weeks, and then after that, I'll probably have a group of guys on, and things might get crazy. Thanks for watching, people who are listening. Talk to you later.